The number you have reached, 911, has been changed to a non-published number.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
Welcome to another segment of UCW Radio, and this is your host, Lou, a.k.a. Falcon Coparis. And it's Tuesday, and trust me, it's hot out. Today on the show, we're going to have a one-on-one with female rocker Alexx Calise. This girl is one that you have to watch out for in the world of rock, even crossing over into pop. And now, without further ado, let's get Alexx Calise on the phone.
Alex, welcome to UCW Radio. I want to thank you in advance for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today.
Well, thank you very much, Lou. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, great. Now, we're going to start from the beginning. That's the best place to start. I guess I'm going to have to be a little canned. I hate doing it, but I have to do that at first, just so that our listeners can get acquainted with you the way they should. Now, most talented musicians, they start at an early age. At least they begin to find an escape and a talent that they discovered. We're just going to stick with music because that's the topic here. And they find their voice with music. And they develop that talent sometimes. Now, when did you have that moment of discovering your talent, and were you just a natural, or was it something you had to develop over time?
Well, first and foremost, I've always been a writer, fiction, non-fiction. I just have always, had that, I've always been a voracious, reader and writer. So it just seemed natural when I was about 11 to pick up the guitar, and I also did it to emulate my father, who's a musician. And it was a great way to accompany my writing, my lyrics, recitations, what have you. I found that was my true calling. It's a great way for me to, for my voice to be heard, especially by, accompanying it with music.
Oh, well, you just developed a segue for the next question, which is great. You're a singer, you're a songwriter, period, the end. Do you find it natural to do both of them, or would you just prefer one over the other?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Hitting you with a tough one now.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough question. I love both so very much. Songwriting, it's so natural for me. I just get it. I can't even describe to you the feeling that I'm overcome with when I'm about to write a song. Like this whole warm feeling comes over my body, and I just have to get that creative energy out. And it's just such a magical, almost spiritual type of feeling. And there's nothing that really compares to that, but I have an absolute love for singing as well. I sing everywhere I can, in the shower, while I'm driving in my car. It's just, I love it. Words can't even express, how much it means to do it,
But, so singing pretty much gives you that vehicle to express your words, verbally.
Mm-hmm.
More or less. Okay, that's good. So when you really can't choose one over the other, then you enjoy both of them. So that'd be a hard choice for you to make.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't like about singing is actually recording it, because I'm so hard on myself when I'm actually recording. I just, oh man, I have to do this again and again, and I want to make sure it's perfect. So that part of it I don't enjoy, but I love the actual performing aspect of it when I'm actually out on stage, and I just can't even describe the feeling that I get from it. It's a vehicle, like you said, for which to express my lyrics,
Well, you connect with your audience, you connect with your fans, and it's kind of like it's a natural high. I know what it is to be in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people, and it's a natural high, and that's probably where you're at, and that's great. At least you have that vehicle to do that. Alex, let's go into something. Let's go into where you grew up. You grew up in Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're out. You call California your home right now with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the whole crew. Do you think that if you stood in Florida when you were young, you were 11, you started, playing, you were writing, and you were playing music, and you started to sing and everything. Do you think that if you stood in Florida, that you would have pursued music as rigorously as you are right now?
Well, I've always, really pursued it. I've been pursuing it professionally since I was about, 14 or so. But the problem with, living in a smaller town or a town like Florida, first of all, it's definitely not the mecca for music, or, not rock music specifically. But, after a while, you just hit a wall, there's only so, you can only do so much in one place. And I lived there for, maybe 18 years or so. After a while, you get to know everybody. Everyone knows you. And I just wanted to take it to that next level. And, when I came out to LA just to record my, a portion of my first record, I just fell in love with it. And I started working with some great producers out here. And I just found that, people are more understanding of artists out here. And there were just so many places to play and so many, this is, where the entertainment industry rests, this is the whole nesting ground for all of that. So I figured this is probably the place to be.
You have more opportunity there than you would in Florida. And I do understand, in Florida, you have limited growth potential.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's understandable. Now, Alex, your music genre is, alternative, pop, rock, but it really splits into the rock arena, but you can go pop. That I do know. Now, what would you classify your music as? And second question is, what were your two biggest influences in your style of music?
Oh, okay. Well, I'd classify my music more, rocktronica, I guess you could say. It has the electronic elements, pop elements. I started it, working with this producer named Luigi Gonzalez. He's, actually produced, Madonna, Shakira, a lot of Latin artists. He was up for a Grammy a few years ago. He's a Grammy nominee. And I just found that when the both of us worked together, we created a really cool, different kind of sound because, my influences, to answer your next question, are very, very grunge influences. Early Nirvana, Silverchair, the Toadies, who else? Buck Cherry. They're more rock, but I like a lot of grunge music, and obviously he was very pop because he's working with all these big pop artists. So I found that we really complemented each other, and we created a sound that was very unique and different, yet it was commercially viable enough to be played on terrestrial radio. So yeah, I think it's very different, but I'm actually, on this next record that I'm actually recording, I'm going more, back to my roots. It's more lo-fi than my past album, and I'm doing it completely 100% by myself, and I'm actually engineering it all myself as well.
Oh, then you're versatile. Check you out.
Thank you.
What's the name of that next record of yours?
As of yet, it's still untitled, but it is definitely, it revisits my grunge roots a lot more so than the last record did. My last record was more, pop rock. This one is going to be, of course, it's still pop rock, has all the pop melodies, but it's a little darker, and, I'm doing it 100% by myself. I'm producing it with the help of my songwriting partner, Dennis Morehouse, and, yeah, it's just, it feels like it's more me. It's a better vehicle for, to express myself, I guess, than my last one was.
Okay, well, you have all these say in what you do and what you don't do, and sometimes that's the best way to go.
Right.
I think, Alex, you're going to like this next question. You're going to find it more interesting, I think, anyway. Okay, female rockers, all right? Some of the greats include Janis Joplin, Blondie, Joan Jett, Hart, and Shirley Manson's Garbage. Now, that girl, she brings a badass for beauty designs rock. Now, I'm sure you have been asked this 1,000,001 times in all your interviews, but I have to ask it. Do you find it difficult as a female rock or female artist to push higher in music, especially at, in the rock segment, as opposed to a male rock singer?
Well, actually, I've been asked this question several times, and it's a very interesting question.